Hey there sewers, my name is Belinda and today's video is a pants sloper draft on flat pattern. All the tools will be listed in the description box, so we're going to get right on it by first dividing the brown paper into two as I am doing. Once the center is located, draw a line through the markings. This line should be the same measurement as the length of the pants from waist to hem. I'll be leaving the link to a downloadable worksheet in the description box so you can go through in your spare time. Label the line A, B. Point A should be at the waist, point B should be at the hem. To get the depth of the crotch from the waist, add 3/4 of an inch ease to the measurement of the crotch. Mark this as point D from A. Square out from both sides for points A and D. For the hip level, divide the measurement of point A, which is the waist, and point D, which is the crotch level, by 3 to get the hip depth. Mark this point as point C from D, as I'm doing. Square out at point C from both sides. From the knee level, measure the distance from point D, which is the crotch depth, to point B, which is the ankle. Divide it by 2 and add 1 inch toward the crotch level as I'm doing. Mark this as point E and square this point out from both sides. Move to point B, which is the ankle or hem level, and square this point out from both sides. Remember to label the crotch level, hip level, and knee level on your draft. Starting off with the back pant, add 1/4 of an inch ease to the back hip measurement and mark this point as F from C. For point G, measure CF and mark from D. For point H, measure CF and mark from A. Connect the points G at the hip with point H at the waist. Find the midpoint between G at the hip and H at the waist and mark it as X. On the back crotch level, measure GD and divide this measurement by 2 to get the measurement for GI, which is an extension of the back crotch. At this point, I realized that my brown paper wasn't wide enough, so I had to attach another one with masking tape on the side. For the front side of the pants, add a 1/4 inch ease to the front hip measurement and mark as J from point C. For point K, measure CJ and mark from D. For point L, measure CJ and mark from A. Connect the points K at the hip with point L at the waist. Find the midpoint between K and L and mark it as X, just like we did on the back pants. Measure KD on the crotch level and divide this measurement by 4 to get the measurement for KM, which is an extension of KD on the crotch level. For the back darts, measure 3/4 inch from the point H on the waist and label it N. Add 2.5 inches to the back waist measurement and mark this point as O from N. Measure 3 inches from point N and label it P. Then, mark 1 inch for the dart intake for each of the 2 darts at the back. These darts should be 1¼ inch apart from each other. Mark the center of each dart and square them down 4½ inches. For the front dart, add 1¼ inches to the front waist measurement and mark this point as Q from L. Then, mark 1 inch for the dart intake in the front. Mark the center of the dart and square down 3 inches. For the center back crotch curve, mark 1/4 inch up from N and square a line up. Label this point S. Draw a short line from S to N. Draw a short line from S to X. Draw a 2-inch diagonal line from point G and label it T, just as I'm doing. Draw a crotch curve from I to X, touching T. For the center front crotch curve, mark a 1½ inch diagonal line from point M to point X, touching U. For the back and front waistlines, draw a slight inward curve line from S to O. Draw a slight inward curve line from 1/4 inch below L to Q. Draw hip curves just above C to O and to Q. Measure the points from D to I on the crotch level and divide it into 2. Then add a 1/4 inch to this measurement. Mark this as point V from D on the back part of the trouser. Then square up and down from V to get the back grain line. Measure points D, M on the crotch level and divide it into 2. Then add a 1/4 inch to this measurement. Mark this point as W from D on the front trouser pattern. Then square up and down from W to get the grain line. Mark out the width of the hemline. Since this is just a sloper, the hem width can be adjusted during fittings. For the out seams, draw straight lines from the ankle marks to C and blend with the hip line. For the inseams, mark 1/2 inch in from M and L. Then draw straight lines to the ankle marks. Draw inward lines from I and M, blending close to knee level. Outline the front and back blocks and cut out the patterns if you want. Otherwise, you can keep this as a master block. Thank you so much for joining me to do this updated women's pants sloper on flat pattern. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more educational sewing videos like this one or better. And as always, you can thank me later. But until my next video, take care.